Shabbat Shalom. Look at your song sheet. The opening song is a very up-tempo Hine Matov. You're familiar with it. It goes like this. E-O! E-O-O-O! E-O-O-O-O! E-O! E-O-O-O! E-O-O-O-O! Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. How great it is, brothers and sisters, to hang out on this day. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. How great it is, brothers and sisters, to hang out on this day. E-O! E-O-O-O! E-O-O-O-O! Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. How great it is, brothers and sisters, to hang out on this lovely day. How great it is, brothers and sisters, to hang out on this day. One more time. How great it is to hang out on this. How great it is, brothers and sisters, to hang out on this day.
Shabbat Shalom. It's great to see everyone on this Get to Know You Shabbat. So if you are watching from home, when everybody came into the Hall of Honors, they were asked to make sure they had a name tag and that it included an interesting place that they have lived in their life. We are, during this service, it's important to know, especially because services tend to be a pretty kind of everyone facing the same direction, staring ahead kind of experience, instead of a let's all understand who we're with, who we're praying with, who we're sitting together in Jewish community with, which is very, very important. So I don't know if you like this concept. Maybe we'll do it more than once a year. I don't know. We shall see. It's an experiment. So before we get started, everyone, we're doing this now anyway, but especially important tonight. Look around, see someone you don't know, and go up and introduce yourself, and also tell them somewhere interesting you've lived. So tell them your name, somewhere interesting you lived, and maybe you've lived in the same place. Hello.
So where have you lived?
Well, besides West Hollywood, I have my mic on. I have lived in
Nice to meet you, Jody
Brooklyn.
and Lisa.
I've lived in Okay. Give you another minute to wind up conversations. So as you're winding down, I'd like to thank our President Matthew Meyer, his presidential assistant Molly Meyer, our musical leaders who always, week after week, enhance our services, Andy Sussman and Ruth Pavlo, Xavier Leff in the back doing technology, and thank you to all of you for being here together in community, and hopefully we'll know each other a little better by the end of the evening. So candles, I'd like to call up Marion Kostrinsky, I believe, yes, is lighting our Shabbat candles. And Marion, where's somewhere interesting you have lived? That's right. So if you didn't hear, her interesting place she has lived is where she still lives, which is Coconut Creek, Florida in Winmore, which she loves. So good commercial for Winmore if you're looking and whatever. There you go. Page 120.
מלך העולם, אשר קדשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת.
Amen.
Blessed are you, God, source of all life, who brings us holiness through mitzvot, and who has given us the mitzvah of lighting the Shabbat candles.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Yesher Koach, thank you. We continue with our song in which we welcome the Shabbat in, envisioning the Shabbat as a beautiful bride coming into our midst. That is the song Lecha Dodi. It was written about 500 years ago by rabbis in Israel who really felt God on a very mystical level, and they liked envisioning things that are beautiful, things like brides or like beauty in nature. The same people who wrote Lecha Dodi also came up with the idea of celebrating Tu B'Shvat, the Jewish New Year of the trees, as like a Seder, where we recognize the beauty and the spirituality in the natural world. So Lecha Dodi is on page 138.
Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ותפארת ולי תהילה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה.
You may be seated. And so there are 10 questions I came up with that have been scattered about, and that will be answering, people will be answering over the course of the evening. Now, it turns out the one that was left over was number 1, so I got number 1. So I'm going to get us started. And my question is, what is a High Holy Day experience that made a big impression on you? It could be a service, a meal, a custom, a special or unusual situation or place, etc. And the first thing that came to mind was my first High Holy Days. I was sent out as a student rabbi to lead. And that was, so context, I grew up with 2 New York Jewish parents in New Jersey. I went to college in Philadelphia. That was my comfort zone. My first student pulpit was in Jasper, Alabama. And I may as well have been sent to Mars. It was, I remember it quite well. I remember a lot of things about it. Small town, deep south. And that was when the deep south was the deep south. The women, like literally, we went out to dinner. First of all, I couldn't understand half of what they said. Then we went out to dinner. They're like, oh, we're for Rosh Hashanah, before Rosh Hashanah service, we're going to dinner at Shawnee's. Shawnee's. Okay, Shawnee's. And then we pull in and I go, oh, Shawnee's, which is an odd place to go for Rosh Hashanah dinner, but, oh, Shawnee's. They're like, yeah, Shawnee. They didn't, it was kind of culture. And then we went in and there were literally women like Marge Simpson. They had hair like this. And the first time I heard one of my congregants get up and read the Shema, I don't know how I didn't. I mean, it was really hard to keep a straight. I had never heard. He got up and went, Shema, Yisro. Again, New York, Philadelphia, no exposure to this. So anyway, they were very nice. It made a big impact on me. And I remember, because it was my first time I went out, it was my second year of rabbinical school, the first time I went out, and someone said, Rabbi, and I didn't register, Rabbi, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, they're talking to me. And then I went, hee, I giggled. Anyway, I got used to it. It's been a lot of years since then. But anyway, that is my High Holy Day experience that stands out in my mind. So we continue as we officially start our service with Baruch Hu. And Baruch Hu is on page 146. And if you're able, you may rise.
La 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 la. Baruch
Shema talks about God, but it also talks about us. Shema, the 6 words of Shema say that all of us are unified by one universal power, force, connection, however you envision that word God to mean. And it's part of this community building, Get to Know You Shabbat, is the idea that we're not necessarily here to focus on some abstract idea that's not of this world. That when we talk about coming and praying and talking about God, we're talking about what connects us to other people. How do we act in a world in a way that shows we understand everyone and everything is interconnected with one another? So Shema is on page 152.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Adonai Echad.
You may be seated. The Ahavta comes right after Shema in Torah, and you can find it on page 154. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol ma'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta b'ham b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam la'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvihisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem emet. So if you wandered in a little late, it is Getting to Know You Shabbat, and we have some questions we're asking people in our congregation. And Molly, I'm going to give you the mic. Who has question number 2? Your dad. Can you find your... No, it's Molly's job. Come here, Molly. Find your dad and give him the mic. Okay, so tell us your name and your question.
Thank you. Matthew Meyer. Did you say where I'm from? Do I have to do this?
Stand up.
I'm going to come front and center. Come with me. Come with me, little arm.
You can say where you've lived.
Matthew Meyer, and I was born in Gainesville. So it says I've lived in Gainesville. I've lived other places, but Gainesville, Florida, yes, sorry. I should be specific, there are several, aren't there?
There
But
are.
Molly
Virginia.
made my name tag, so Gainesville is what it says. So my
Hold
question,
it closer to his mouth. Okay.
my question tonight is, did you ever meet someone Jewish when or where you didn't expect it? So I thought about this, and I'll be quite honest with you. I met my lovely wife. We were at work, and I worked in Dade County, and that was not a place where, I mean, it used to be a haven of Jewish people, but there's less and less. So when I met my wife, I was very surprised that she was Jewish. Very happy as well, for that matter. So there you go.
That's a good answer. We like it. Thank you, Molly. And we continue on your song sheet with the song of joy that the Israelites danced to when they found out they were getting out of slavery in Egypt and going off to be free and independent people. Micha Mocha on your song sheet.
נהדר וקודש נורא תהילות, עושה פלא, נורא תהילות, עושה פלא. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר וקודש נורא תהילות, עושה פלא, נורא תהילות, עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקי הים, לפני משה ומרים, זה אלי, אנו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יא לה לה לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה. Ya la 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 la. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא תהילות, עושה פלא, נורא תהילות, עושה פלא. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you, Adonai?
Shamru. Let's see, we need Bradley. Where'd Haley go? I saw her. We don't know. She's, Haley Rock, are you somewhere? Okay, well, anyway, Bradley, come up. Molly. Brooke, you want to come up? You count? No. Ah, she's too old now. She's graduated high school. All right. That's how it goes. I guess that's it. Okay, so we are leading. That means you are following. This is our TBO Vishamru. The moves are very simple. You will pick them up very quickly. Vishamru is a line from our Torah that says the Shabbat day is a sign of the loving relationship between the people of Israel and God, and it is on page 160.
Shamru b'nei Yisrael Hashabbat Lasoret Hashabbat Ledorotam beri olam V'shamru b'nei Yisrael Hashabbat Lasoret Hashabbat Ledorotam beri olam Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael Od hi le'olam Od hi le'olam Od hi le'olam B'nei Yisrael Hashabbat את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם וביום השביעי שבת וינפש שבת וינפש שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Yay! That was fun. Thank you, Bradley. Thank you, Molly. Just a sec. So we are, you know what? Let's do question 3. Who has question 3? Go to Dave. So say who you are. Oh, sorry. Yep, I was trying to save batteries. There you go. Say your, and he can hold it, so hold it up to your mouth. Say your name and your question, and then answer it.
I'm Dave Levin from Evansville, Indiana. My question is there a specific food or beverage that brings up Jewish memories for you? What is it, and what are the memories? I love gefilte fish.
That's a minority opinion, I think.
And whenever it's on sale, I will stock up several jars of it. Now, my wife does not like gefilte fish. We tell jokes about it all the time. Like if she was stranded on the desert and she was going to be rescued, and all the rescuers had was gefilte fish, she'd rather starve. I found out gefilte fish is a traditional Christmas dish in Poland, which the Jewish population picked up.
Interesting. Do you have a memory of your favorite gefilte fish, or is it always out of the jar, or?
The only ones I'm familiar with in a jar, but I don't like the jelly. I like those in broth, but not jelly.
That's very fair. The jelly is a little gross. Thank you. Gefilte fish. I did not expect that someone would share that as their favorite Jewish food. So see, that's why it's good we're doing this. So thank you, Molly. The central portion of our worship service is the tefillah, and it is on page 1, begins on page 100, on page 164.
The song sheet.
And also on page 164 is the opening little line that we pray that we may pray the tefillah with honesty and sincerity. And the Charlie Kramer version that we do here fairly often is on your song sheet. If you're able, you may rise.
Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach. Viagi Tehilatecha. Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach. Viagi Tehilatecha. Open up our lips so we may praise your name. Open up our hearts so we may feel our pain. Open up our souls to let our love make us whole. And we will praise תורתך.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chastei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Gula Livanei V'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham, V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayei HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofech Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umekahye Emunato Lishene Afar. Michamocha Bal Givurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emana talachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shemcha kadosh, Ukadoshim b'chol yom yahalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. We continue with a moment of silent reflection, either with the words of our hearts or the words in the prayer book, and we continue either standing or sitting.
Ose shalom bimroma.
On your song sheet.
Ose shalom bimroma. Huyase, huyase, huyase shalom. Huyase, huyase, huyase shalom. Huyase, huyase, huyase shalom. Aleinu. Ose shalom bimroma. Ose shalom bimroma. Huyase, huyase, huyase shalom. Huyase, huyase, huyase shalom. Huyase, huyase, huyase shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Alleluia.
Who has question 4? Sandy over here. So Sandy, say your name, and you can say an interesting place you've lived, and then your question.
Thank you. My Bubba used to make gefilte fish in the bathtub. She had a carp. So,
Wow.
is there a Jewish
Okay,
object?
who are you and where have you lived?
Sandy Lobel. Is there a Jewish object you own that has special meaning for you? What is it and why is it meaningful? I'm very into angels, so I used to wear them also. There are angels in the Torah, right, Rabbi?
Yeah.
So I used to wear the angel on all my clothes. I got holes eventually. I had to give them up. But I lost my angel shopping for Pesach in a kosher store. And I lost my angel, and I looked in the parking lot. I went back the next day. I called them on the phone, and a couple of weeks later, I crossed my legs, and in the tread of my shoe was my angel. So I lost the diamond that was in it, but it was small.
Wow.
And where have you
Oh, the most interesting place, I lived on Marco Island.
Marco Island's a very
Marco
nice.
Island, Florida.
Thank you. That's a great story, and it's a good introduction to our next prayer. You can hold on to it, actually, which is Misha Beirach. And in Misha Beirach, we take a moment to think of and pray for all of those in need of healing, whether it is physical or spiritual or emotional. We especially on this Shabbat think of David Appel, Carolyn Bouchard, Ethan Campbell, Yankel Ben Chana, Nicole Dubin, Daniel Urchik, Mordechai Ben Sarafega, Roy Zabat Shmuel Vabat Sheva, Tracy Janetta, Julian Kaner, Ellen Kaplan, Erwin Kostrinsky, Marion Kostrinsky, Shelley Lehner, Michelle Lasanti, Mark Merberg, Arnold Reamer, Sheila Rosenberg, Rosalie Saltiel, Louise Samuels, Maxine Shapiro, Bobby Sherman-Gieshin, Herman Spring, Andrea Teeple, Carla Teisch, Katie Weinstock, Lori Weinstock, Bat Sheva. Are there others we wish to think of? Our prayer for healing is Misha Beirach, and you can find it on your song sheet.
Misha Beirach Avoteinu Avraham Yitzchak veYaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel יברך וירפא את החולים.
So we have some more questions. Who has question number 5? Okay, so Molly, you're going to be running around a little bit. That's okay. So Jim, tell us who you are when Molly gets you the mic, and somewhere interesting you've lived, and then your question.
So my name is Jim Marsh, and geographically, I spent most of my life in New York City. My question or my statement here is, what is a fun Jewish geography moment from your life that sticks with you? So I know it's a Jewish thing to play Jewish geography, but early on in my life, I found it actually counterproductive. I think the biggest flaw in it is when we play the game, we assume everybody's Jewish, and certainly that's not the case. But I also think the underlying thing that we think we're connecting to is in fact separating us. Because the minute you start to interrogate somebody on some level, looking for the ultimate connection, unless it's you yourself that you met, you're going to be disappointed. There's going to be a separation. You're going to find that that's not complete. So only finding yourself is going to be a completion for Jewish geography. So I refrain from it.
Okay, so we have one vote against ever playing Jewish geography, but is there anyone here who had, there's been a million of them that I can think of. When I was in the Boise synagogue where I lived for 18 years, there were a few times people who, it turned out, grew up in the same apartment building in New York City, and now they're living in Boise, Idaho. Okay, I have one, also in Boise, Idaho. I talked to somebody who had just moved to Boise and was coming to the Temple, and I said, where are you from? New Jersey, New Jersey. Where in New Jersey? I'm like, I'm from Succothon, New Jersey. And she said, oh, I lived in Succothon, New Jersey. I'm like, what? Yeah, I lived on Cadell Drive. I'm like, lived on Cadell Drive? That's like the next street from me. Like, what? So she told me her name, she told me the whole thing. I called, it turns out she had lived there when I was like a toddler. I call my parents to say this weird story, and the first thing, my dad picks up the phone, I'm like, guess who I just met at services? I met so-and-so, and he goes, oh, the nut with the pony, because it turns out she was trying to keep a pony on her land in our little subdivision, and she got in all kinds of problems, and it caused a little anti-Semitism, and it was a big thing. But my dad knew 50 years later, in a second, it was the pony lady. So anyway, that's a Jewish geography moment. So sorry, Jim, you may not like that, but some of us think it's fun, so whatever. Who has question number 6? Yeah, just keep it on, because you're going to be running around. And you can hold the mic yourself up to your mouth. That might.
Thank you, Molly. I'm Fran Kraft. I lived in Brooklyn, but the most interesting places I lived was Poughkeepsie and Wappingers Falls, New York. And I loved it up there. And Wappingers. Okay, what is the most interesting place you've been to a Shabbat service or had a holiday observance, a Jewish holiday observance? Share a memory about that experience. Well, I had 2 really. One was in Spain. We were in Barcelona on Yom Kippur, and I had contacted a temple there, given them all my information, because they were very concerned about who was coming. And I went to a Yom Kippur service, Erev Yom Kippur, Kol Nidre. It was all in Spanish and Hebrew. It was okay. It wasn't separate, and it wasn't Sephardic, but they weren't really friendly. They didn't, come up and talk to us at all. And the tough thing about it was, if you've ever been to Spain, you can't eat in Spain until after 8 o'clock because the restaurants are all closed. So we couldn't eat before services, and we were starving afterwards. It was not good. The other time, and I think Doreen was with us, was in London when we went to Joyce on that. What? Oh. Oh, right. We were in London, and Joyce Rubin, she should rest in peace. She arranged for us to go to this temple, which was far away from where we were staying. They were so welcoming and delightful, and of course it was English, and we could understand it. So that was really a nice one.
Neat. Okay, now I'm losing track. Did you have number 6?
Yes.
Whoops. Okay, number 7. Up, right behind you.
Oh, I have to introduce myself? Oh, hi. I'm Sheila Gould, and I'm from Montreal originally, but I've lived here in Florida most of my life. So the question is...
You got to hold the mic up to your mouth.
Sorry?
Hold the mic up to your mouth.
If you attended religious school, Hebrew school growing up, share an interesting memory you have from that experience. Well, I have the memory of when I would go to public school during the day, and then after 2 or 3 times a week we'd go to Cheder after school. And the school that I went to, and then it was the last day and we were graduating, and so we went. And I got the prize for being first in the class. I got like this book. And I didn't even know that I was, I didn't even know that I was capable of anything. But suddenly they gave me a book, and I was so excited. So it was a wonderful, exciting memory. Thank you.
Thanks. Question 8.
I'm coming.
Okay, if you could borrow.
Say who you are.
Oh, I am Doreen Klein. I was born in Brooklyn, then we moved to Arizona, then we moved to Texas, then we moved here, and if you bring me any other place, I'm not going. Anyway, my question is, if you could borrow one ritual, song, practice from a different religion, and have it be part of Judaism, what would it be and why? When I was growing up, I lived in a Jewish Catholic neighborhood. And I always was so jealous of those little girls when they were 7, 8, or 9, and they wore those beautiful bride dresses when they had communion. And I was always so jealous because I wanted that bride dress. So I would incorporate, we have bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah when you're 13. I think we should have something when you're 7 and 8 and get all dressed up.
Well, consecration, they could wear bridal dresses to consecration. Okay, something to think about. And question 9. Up.
I don't need
Andy.
that.
Up. That's right. So Molly, you can sit.
So my question is, what is one place in the world you would like to celebrate a Jewish holiday and why? So it's a good question. And wherever you go, there you are. So my initial answer is, wherever you are, that's where you celebrate, as opposed to yearning to be somewhere else. But I do remember celebrating a series of holidays, Pesach and Shavuot and Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, in Jerusalem in 1978, when I took a hiatus from college and hung out in Israel for 6 months. And so I suppose that would be an amazing place to do that, which I did. But once again, wherever you are, that's where I want to be. Thank you.
I celebrated Sukkot in Egypt, but it should have been Passover, because that would really be a good place to celebrate Passover. Ironic. But Sukkot in Egypt, they used, I guess, what you would call Oriental rugs. I don't know if there's a different name for them, but Oriental rugs were all over the sukkah as opposed to like canvas or burlap. Anyway, that just popped into my, I forgot about that. I haven't thought about that for years, just popped into my head.
Sure, at every question, if that's how I was doing it, I had my answer.
Yeah.
I was listening to your answer. So maybe Rabbi will send us the questions and we can reminisce.
Remember, we have the Oneg after services, and you can continue the conversation. So before that, I would like to call upon our president, Matthew Meyer, to share some things going on at TBO. Yes, you did.
Hello. We having fun tonight? Something different, it's something new. I like it. Let's see, Saturday morning, 9 a.m., we have Torah discussion with the rabbi on Zoom. Monday at 12:30 is Mahjong. Monday at 7 p.m. is the High Holiday Choir practice. If you're interested, we'll fill seats. And you know what's not on here is the canasta. Are we doing canasta this week? Well, on Wednesdays. Okay, so that is on. It's not on here, but we're doing canasta. I'm trying to keep up with Stan because my wife said the one who does the best duty trustee speech is Stan.
Don't try to compete. It's impossible.
I can't compete with Stan. I'll bring my own flavor. So you guys have seen this. We're doing this tonight. This is the summer special services at Temple Beth Orr. Next Friday is the learner service. Learn fun facts about our worship service. Then the following Friday, July 28th, is Choose Your Own Service Adventure. Choices for the service are made by the congregation.
And I think everyone's going to need a smartphone. So bring your smartphone to make your choices about the service.
There you go. I will not be here, but that will be, I will probably try to zoom in to see what happens with that one. August 4th is the Comfy Story Time Shabbat. Come in comfy clothes as we sing, pray, and hear a Jewish folk story. So that's for the summer special services. Next up is the Children and Youth Chauffeur Choir. Looking around the room, this may not apply to too many people, so I'll look to the camera. We do have a youth chauffeur choir for the high holidays. There will be 2 rehearsals. One is August 27th. The other is September 10th. I'll give that to my wife because she's the one that's going to keep tabs on that. We have our open house coming up on August 20th, where we will be, let me see, are we having hot dogs? Is that the hot dogs and sodas? We're going to have the bounce house again. I think we're going to have animals from the Sawgrass Nature Center, face painting. We're going to be giving out tours for people who aren't members, who are interested in becoming members. Lots of things going on that day. That is Sunday, August 20th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. If you're interested in volunteering and helping out with that, that does take a small army to put together, so we take volunteers. If you don't want to volunteer, but you want to come out and support us and join us, love to see your smiling faces here. With that, I say Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'd like to call up Sophie Pollack to open the Ark for Aleinu. Aleinu is on page 586, and you may rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהן, וגורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים משתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo Echad.
You may be seated. And thank you, Sophie. Yashaka. We have one more question, and that question happened to go to Miss Molly Meyer. So hold it up to your mouth, share the question and your answer. Well, come up here. Okay, there you go.
Okay. My name is Molly Meyer, and I'm only from Coral Springs. My question was, if you could have a whole outfit decorated with any Jewish theme or design, what would the outfit look like? When would you wear it? So I would kind of have a Jewish star made out of peace signs, and it would be like a dress and like a long dress. Like a long dress. And I would probably wear it on like a regular temple service, or maybe like a service that, like maybe Rosh Hashanah, or like one of those fun holidays.
So would your maybe you would have a different dress for, what would you wear for Hanukkah? Would it be different?
It would be blue with candles as the Jewish star.
They could maybe really light up.
Yeah, like that's what I was
Okay,
thinking.
I mean, if you dream it, that's excellent. So maybe you will be able to design that someday. That would be cool. We look forward to seeing you in your Jewish outfits. We continue as we remember those who are no longer with us, those who live on in our memories and our hearts, and all the ways they brought their unique gifts to our world. During their time of Shiva, we remember Arthur Longo, brother of Louise Samuels. And we remember our longtime member, Arthur Chaikin, husband of Gail Chaikin. During his time of Shloshim, we remember Michael Polonsky, cousin of Larissa Polonsky, and those whose yahrzeits fall this week: Carolyn Bauman, Benjamin L. Geller, Sidney Gelman, Stanley P. Ginsberg, Solomon Harris, Lawrence Kuhn, Florence Leonardo, Francis Levy, Jerome Lorber, Florence Mogdul, Benjamin Radinsky, Marcia Rome, Helen Treif Rosenthal, Joseph Rothbard, Harry Sandler, Lawrence Wanderman, Lenore Washor. Are there others we wish to remember? We honor all of their memories as we rise from Mourner's Kaddish, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
V'alma divarach hirutei v'amlech malchutei. V'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. V'agala uv'izman kariv v'yimru.
Amen.
Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach la'alam almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudsha berichu. La'ela min kol berachata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechemata. Damiran v'alma v'yimru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael V'imru. Amen. V'imru, 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 amen. V'imru, 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 amen. You may be seated. And we move from our sacred prayer of memory to the joy of the Shabbat day. And the joy of the Shabbat day will be made even more joyous because the Meyer family is going to be leading us in Kiddush and Mutzi. So come on up. And I'll push this on over. Bradley, one day you're going to push this back to me because you'll be like, I'm taller than you. I don't need this. And that day is coming soon. So we'll appreciate this now. And do you need more of those? Kiddush is on page 123. There's some more.
Oh, thank you.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei puri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu,
B'Shabbat
kodsho v'ahava u'ratzon hinchalanu, Zikaron l'maaseh Bereshit, ki hu yom tehillah l'mikra'e kodesh, zeher tziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'charta, v'yotanu kiddashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat koshecha, v'ahava u'ratzon, hinchalanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat. Amen.
L'chaim.
I've got critics. Okay. You got this one, Molly? No? Okay. You want to do this, Molly? The bread. We're doing the bread. Hollow, excuse me.
Hamotzi lehem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rising songs together, as our prayer is joyfully said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lehem min haaretz. Amen.
Okay, let's see if you can pull this challah apart. Is it better?
It should be.
It's fresher now. And as they eat their fresh challah, we will conclude with Adon Olam, which is on page 625.
Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yetzir nivra le'et nasa b'chetzo kol azay melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kichot hakol levado yimloch nora ve'hu haya ve'hu hopeh ve'hu yeh betifara ve'hu echad ve'et כותב לי בעת צרה, והוא ניסי ומנוסי, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא בידו, אפקיד רוחי בעת אישן ואירה, ועם רוחי גביעתי, אדוני לי ולא אירה.
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom.
shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom.